Hey, welcome to The Nerve. I am Maureen Callahan. I am your host, and I am so happy that we are all back together because we have an incredible mix of stuff for you today, okay? We've got even more celebrity bullshit, what we at The Nerve call real talk about fake people. Plus, we expose yet another wellness grift and what responsibility the august, and I'm winking at you, New York Times bears for this and other major infractions that just all go to the death of legacy media. We saw a big resignation today at CBS News, okay? Plus, we are taking apart 3 major Nepo babies with their own product or lack thereof. Plus, we have a collective nickname for our group now. I was reading and listening to you all since we asked for your feedback. So is the whole team. And it seems that everyone has settled on troublemakers. So that's what we're going to be going forward. We are the troublemakers. And we've got a new segment we're introducing. We're going to call this our moment of nirvana. Like Nirvana, but nirvana. And in that segment, I'm going to talk to you about something that I love and want to share with all of you because I think you will love it too. So all of that is to come. But first, okay, let's get into this latest in the Diddy trial. Okay, so we are now in week 2 of this thing. And as we discussed last week, it is not looking good for him. As I said, when hardened New York City jurors recoil in disgust, and again, we live among rats, like huge, enormous urban super rats that fear nothing and no one. Raccoons, same. And homeless people openly masturbating. And this is what phases a New York City jury. Diddy is in real trouble, okay? He is in real shit. And never forget that one of his defense lawyers parachuted out of this case weeks ago, and that guy defended Osama bin Laden in U.S. federal court not once, but twice, okay? Anyway, here is how we know Diddy is done. Whether he's found guilty or not, I tend to think he will be, but let's say he gets off. Poor choice of words. Let's say he is exonerated, acquitted, found not guilty. Check out this first meme posted by his arch nemesis, 50 Cent. And not for nothing, 50 Cent is one of the very few prominent rappers, Eminem aside, to openly acknowledge that everybody knew about Puffy, as he was once known. Take a look at this. Okay, for those of you who are listening, this is Sean Combs riding on the back of a motorcycle driven by Jeffrey Epstein, hands gripped lovingly around Epstein's midsection. These two are living their best lives, and they take off into the sky on said motorcycle like E.T. in the movie with Elliot. You know, the only thing that's missing is like it's night and we're up against like a full moon, you know, like a harvest moon. Okay, you think it can't get any better? Take a look at this one, also posted by 50 Cent on his account over the weekend. Here's Diddy in an orange jumpsuit behind bars, holding hands with an inmate and putting himself down to bed by slugging a bottle of Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. I mean, whoever put those together is a genius, okay? That is where Diddy is in the culture. He is a complete joke that is also utterly repugnant. And I'm glad that we can at least laugh about this in some way, because there truly is no other way to get through what is sure to be a very lengthy, disgusting trial. Oh, and by the way, guess whose name came up today? Usher, one of Diddy's alleged victims, or a witness to one of Diddy's, beatdowns of the women in his life. I believe this was a woman from Danity Kane who said that she witnessed Diddy beating Cassie. Well, apparently so did Usher. Allegedly, apparently so did Usher. So, it's getting real. It's getting real, okay? All right. So now for another update from last week's show. You know, Barry Diller, who we covered last week as the 83-year-old tech/media mogul who has found it now a welcoming enough climate for him to come out as a gay man. His book is out tomorrow. And his wife, Diane von Furstenberg, with whom he has lots of hot, enthusiastic sex, posted this little note of support to Instagram. I guess doubling down on this wild, in my opinion, lie. You know, I don't know how these two things can be true at the same time. Diane, available tomorrow. Barry's book, who knew? There's lots of heart emojis strung throughout this with like prayer hands. Prayer hands, oh my God. Okay, for more than 5 years, I've watched him write it. I think that's a lie. I think he had a ghostwriter. I think he sat down, did some interviews, and somebody else put this book together. Okay, he cannot run all the companies he runs and write a book. I can promise you that. She goes on, for 50 years, I have watched him live it, a formidable, adventurous, successful life, exclamation point. Thank you, Barry, for the person you are, for the magic you created. I mean, I guess that's one way to put it. Blah, blah, blah. I love you. I respect you. I admire you. It has been a long, beautiful journey I shared with you as your lover, your friend, and your, okay, we get it. We get it. You guys are doubling down. Great. By the way, David Geffen, Barry's fellow Velvet Mafia Club member, announced in a Friday or Saturday news dump that he is divorcing his 32-year-old personal trainer husband with whom he has no prenup. I mean, literally these people, books, sexualities are just acquisitions for these guys. They really are. And I'm guessing he caught the sugar baby cheating or something because why not just stick it out? He's like as old as Methuselah. Geffen, that is. Okay. Now, to one of our repeat offenders, we're also going to make this a recurring category, okay? Because we have our favorites, and Meghan Markle is one of them. Now, when I saw this over the weekend, I thought immediately of you guys, of the troublemakers. And I thought to myself, there is no better metaphor, and there never will be. I can say it right now, for Meghan Markle and her endless attempts to succeed at anything, whether it's jams or podcasts or just trying to make us like her. Okay, now before I play this, I want you to always keep this in mind because we will use this clip as just a nonverbal cue for disaster. Okay, Meghan Markle is the ship in this scenario, and we are the immovable object. Okay, watch this. For those who are listening, this is the Mexican Navy ship crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, Meghan's the ship. We, a much put upon populace, are the Brooklyn Bridge who is just not having it. Okay, we're going to break you. Try to keep moving. Go ahead. We just took the wind out of your sails. I mean, there's a million jokes. They write themselves. Okay. So Meghan, you know, we did see that incredible meme last week of Harry knocking on doors, captured by a ring cam in London, looking like last night's party went, you know, really hard. And, you know, the trash cans in the back of him. So anyway, Meghan needs to prove to us that she's still winning. She's winning all over the place. So Monday morning, she posts this, and it has to do with her 7-year wedding anniversary. And is it a photo of Harry? No. Is it a photo of them on their wedding day looking so in love and besotted and the future is so bright before them? No, it's her freaking vision board. Okay, this is her post to ostensibly Harry, but really to us, it says 7 years of marriage, a lifetime of stories. Again, one way to put it. You know, you guys have been married 7 years. The lifetimes belong to those senior royals that you have, you know, talked a bunch of shit about and caused agony in their remaining days. My opinion. Then she goes on, thanks to all of you, and then in parentheses, whether by our side or from afar, end parens, who have loved and supported us throughout our love story. We appreciate you. What kind of like lame, vague, why are we all, this is not the Academy Awards. It's your wedding anniversary. It's a day that's important only to you. And, I think I think it's extremely telling that she used her vision board, because we've all read the stories that Meghan Markle, even though she claimed to have no idea who the royal family was, the British royal family, period, even though there's a photo of her that was taken by a friend of her sitting on a fence outside Buckingham Palace at like 12 years old. She allegedly had a vision board in which Harry was the center, and she was sort of, as they say today, manifesting this destiny that she wanted to, realize, which is, marry Harry and, have her life and reputation in the crapper, I suppose. Now, we got another one on Sunday preceding this. Okay, so this is what Meghan is cooking up all weekend. This is what she's doing with her time, is like cooking up these ridiculous social media posts. Okay, so let's look at this. It's a reel. Is this really what she used as she used LL Cool J's Doing It as the soundtrack for this flower arranging story? I mean, that's a song about it's just a song about having sex all night long. It's right there. But that's her with her flowers, by the way, walking with those maddening, again, there's not a woman in this woman's corner, because those pants, those palazzo pants, they're wide-legged. They're supposed to be on trend, but she looks ridiculous in them. They're always sweeping the floor, and she's got her hands full with these flowers. I don't understand how she has yet to trip and break her neck with these floor sweeping pants that are just, what they're doing is they're accruing dirt and dust and insects and whatever's out there. And that's what she's trailing back into the house. Again, would you take domestic advice from this woman? I would not. Now, these posts again come as, because we're winning, even though we have yet another report. And this one, I believe, is from the British royal veteran reporter, Katie Nicholl, that Her Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth, before Meghan had even married into the family, had to personally rebuke her, had to personally scold her for the way Meghan was speaking to the caterers, or I don't know if they were palace staff or this was an outside contract, but she was doing a tasting for the wedding. Okay. And a tasting for the wedding is you taste it, you tell them what you like about it, what you don't like about it. I'm sure Meghan would use the phrase flavor profile, just something really insufferable. And then you get to a happy ending. You get to what you want. Okay. So per the New York Post, Meghan, quote, got quite upset with the caterers, saying that the dish was, this is a direct quote, meant to be vegan and macrobiotic. Okay, I saw no evidence of veganism or macrobiotic dieting in With Love, Meghan. But, then again, I could only gut it out through 2.5 episodes. So maybe I missed something. And also macrobiotic is so 1997. Okay, that's what Gwyneth Paltrow and Demi Moore were banging on back then. They've all since abandoned that stuff. So anyway, she's throwing a fit over this, and the Queen has to come to her directly. This is how bad it was, how dire. It wasn't a foot soldier. It wasn't a chief of staff. It wasn't even William. It was the Queen who had to say, hey, Meghan, we don't talk to people like that in this family, okay? We don't do it. Did that do anything to humble our Duchess? Apparently not. So we are now also getting the breaking news update that none other than Gwyneth Paltrow says she is now developing a quote unquote text friendship with our Duchess. Okay, so I believe she told People magazine this, as re-reported in an outlet called New Daily. They haven't had FaceTime, even though they're Montecito neighbors. Okay, so whatever. Gwyneth shared, I love it when they go, Gwyneth shared, it's a gift that she's giving us, this little tidbit of info. Quote, we have a text for friendship so far. I've been traveling quite a bit. Okay. And then she addressed the rumors that she and Meghan are rivals because they're both sort of in the same space, this lifestyle / wellness / food space. And then Gwyneth said, I don't like that when people try to pit women against each other. Now, I know firsthand from people who know Gwyneth very well and have for a long time. And these are people who actually enjoy aspects of Gwyneth. They do, but she is a mean, mean, mean girl. She is mean. Okay. So I don't buy it when she's like, I support every woman and I support, I don't buy it for a second, but it actually, come to think of it, maybe this is a friendship that is meant to be. Gwyneth's mean, Meghan's mean. Together, they might really, it's kind of like will either repel strongly or attract strongly. And so I don't know. I don't know what this burgeoning friendship has in store for us, but I will say that Gwyneth's own daughter, Apple, apparently doesn't fall far from the tree. And by the way, you guys, do you think she realized that when she was naming her? Do you think that she thought, oh, someday when Apple's older, and I wonder if Gwyneth did for Apple what Meghan's doing for her kids, which is writing emails to them every day so that when they turn 18, they can go to her and say, oh my God, you loved us so much. How much did you love us? Right. Do you think she realized back then that this would be a pun that people would use, right? Well, Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? She's beautiful like her mommy, and she's talented like her mom. It's a narcissistic callback, right? Just a theory, so we'll have more on Apple. Trust me, we're gonna have a lot more. You're gonna love it. You're never gonna guess what it is either. Okay, moving on to Salma Hayek, who has been on this media tour. She did this lengthy red carpet tour, and you would think it would be for an AIDS gala or a huge charity event, but it's not. It's for her Sports Illustrated cover, the swimsuit issue. So this is a woman who used to gun for Oscars and she's married to a billionaire, and we'll get into that. But she's doing all these really serious interviews about what she did to get on to prep for this cover. And I would just like to say to Salma, you might want to take a seat. I don't know if this is again the victory lap you should be taking, because it wasn't that long ago that Sports Illustrated included Gayle King in their swimsuit issue. I think it was last year, and this was well before she was an astronaut. So I'm just saying the bar has been consistently lowered vis-a-vis this swimsuit issue, which used to be, it was it's not what it was. Anyway, listen to Salma talking about this most momentous life event, this most momentous achievement.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I am gonna work out. I am going to go on a diet. I didn't do any of that because it was months in advance. And then as it was getting closer, oh my God, I put some weights on my ankles, and I had them all day, and it was not gonna be enough time.
First of all, how jealous is Hilaria Baldwin right now? Ay, caramba, I was going to work out, but then I didn't work out because, I have nothing but time because my husband is worth $40 billion and owns the world, but I didn't work out, so and then it got closer, and then I put some ankle weights on around the house, and I stomped around the house, and I didn't work out, but look at me on the cover. She looks like she's half her age, and you're not telling me this woman doesn't restrict her dieting. I mean, her calorie counts. She diets for sure. You're not telling me she doesn't work out like a fiend. And she looks like that, by the way, because she is married to one of the world's richest men. She's married to a man named Francois-Henri Pinault. He's 62 years old. He owns Keurig, which rivals only LVMH in terms of luxury holdings, okay? Her husband owns Gucci, YSL, Balenciaga, Bottega Veneta. He has a considerable stake in the Hollywood powerhouse agency CAA. So are you wondering, like I am, how Salma Hayek got this offer out of the blue from Sports Illustrated? I mean, it's not like she's a mover in the culture anymore. She's not. I don't know what she does all day. She's on Instagram. That's what she does all day, where she has 25 million followers. And I do not believe that she has 25 actual million followers. I believe her husband, just my opinion, purchased a bunch of bots or, invented a bunch of fake people, hacked in somehow with AI. I do not believe for a second that 25 million people on this planet give a shit what Salma Hayek is up to on any given day. And by the way, this perfect life that she's shoving in everybody's face, and this is where we're really getting into it, because this is what the nerve is here to push back against. People like this telling people like us that we could look like them and sound like them and be as healthy as they are and have the marriages they have, and they're all so happy and everything's great, and we just need to switch our mindset and manifest it. You know, it's all such bullshit. Salma Hayek has successfully buried this, but when she was dating her husband, Francois Henri, he was also dating, and these are the ones we know about because these guys they always have their hands in multiple pies. Trust me. Linda Evangelista, the supermodel, before she had got breast cancer and had to take drugs, and like she gained a lot of weight and she swelled up, and you know, the fashion industry was revolted by her. And then finally they kind of got the note from the culture that was like, that's really fucked up. This woman has breast cancer. Like, yeah, she once said we don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day, but you know, we've moved on, bygones. And so I believe it was either British Vogue or Vogue Italia, but I think it was British Vogue that said, Linda, we welcome you back. Come back on the cover. And they put her like a tight beauty shot, like a really tight beauty shot. And they wrapped her skull in bandages as if she had had a facelift. And that way they pulled her face back and tried to make it slimmer. I mean, that's how fucked up the fashion industry is. Okay. That was supposed to be a win for her and a welcome back from them. And they fucked her on that cover and they laughed about it. So anyway, there was overlap with Salma Hayek and Linda Evangelista, and Salma, quote unquote, won. Linda had a child with Francois Henri Pinault, or Henri Francois, however you say it. They had a child together, and Salma gutted it out. And I believe she got pregnant not long after. I'm not 100% on that chronology, but I know that is the general gist of it. So this woman is out there wanting you to think she's winning. I would just my opinion, I would bet this guy has other love children out there, okay? Now, she also likes to tell us her beauty secrets. And I saw this on one of the entertainment shows the other day, and I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. She says that her beauty secrets, she's 58 years old. Okay, she looks like she's 30. Her beauty secrets are meditation, joy. If this isn't the word of the decade, I don't know what is. And drinking water. Okay, those are lies. She may do the following things, but they're not responsible for the way she looks. She has had a facelift. I can tell you, she's had a facelift. Nobody gets out of aging and gravity's effects without their neck beginning to sag, without jowls coming on. This woman's face, it's great work. I will give her that. But she is also getting Botox. She is also getting filler. She also has extensions. She's getting lasers. She's getting it all, okay? They are lying to you. Don't believe it. Jennifer Aniston, one of the most beloved celebrities in the country, she does it too. She lies about it. Here she is from an InStyle magazine article in 2024. Well, this was her derm, basically saying the same thing. Oh, Jen, you know, she just like drinks a lot of water and she gets a lot of rest and she eats really well. She eats really clean. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys firsthand that I know a doctor who recently worked with somebody very close to Jennifer Aniston. If Jennifer Aniston or any of her friends are listening, you might not want to keep going. This person said to my doctor friend, do you think that it's hopeless regarding Jen's recent work? Now, this doctor told me, did not treat her, but can ID stuff a mile away, that Jennifer Aniston recently had what is called a bilateral, what's it called? It's a bilateral like lower facelift. So they go in with cameras on both sides, like under the cheekbones. And I think Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills had one too. And they go in and they just lift here. They just lift here. And what it winds up doing is it winds up stretching the mouth out like that. And you can't reverse it. And it's a bad procedure to have done, no matter who you are, no matter what your bone structure is, because it's not working with the rest of the face. It doesn't take into account like the musculature and the structure and the tissues and of the entire face. And so these women wind up, they wind up really doing more harm to themselves than if they had let themselves just age gracefully. And it really bums me out. Now, Victoria Beckham, another one, per Vogue, she said tips to steal from Victoria Beckham's skincare routine. She likes to do a mask, and at the end of a day, oh, I have it on my phone. Excuse me. I took a screen grab for you guys because I had to quote from it directly. So it really comes down to her end of the day ritual. Okay. And that end of day ritual involves, quote, because she doesn't have a ton of free time on her hands. She's a mother and a business owner. And we never talk about the help, right? We never talk about the help. Quote, Epsom salts are good in a bath. No shit. Most of the time, I usually shower because she doesn't even have the time to take a bath. Wow. She told this to Into the Gloss. I've got a really nice big stone bath in my bathroom. I'm really comfortable in it, but I never have time to be honest with you. Whoa, she doesn't have time to shower. Okay, but I thought we had time to shower because we can't bathe, whatever. She says, if I can get in bed at a reasonable time, and I've put a face mask on and I'm reading my Kindle, that's a luxury for me. So that's how she stays youthfully glowing. And my favorite example of all, Gisele Bündchen, per Allure in 2020. And I quote, these are her beauty secrets. Self-care is so important, and a lot of people feel they don't have time to make themselves a priority. Like you and me who work for a living and have life admin stuff and like family members who need help and all that shit. Okay. Therefore, so skin, she says, is a reflection of overall health and wellness. Two different things. Therefore, she's committed to drinking lots of water every day and practicing meditation each morning. Quote, I believe that outer beauty is a reflection of your inner balance and peace, end quote. Never forget. This is like my serious voice. This is like, I am your mother and I am taking you to task. Never forget this paparazzi photo taken of Gisele in Paris. She is in a burqa. Okay. She is covered head to toe in like the beekeeper outfit that Islamic fundamentalist men make women wear. Okay. And she's head to toe in a burqa. We can only see her hands, photographed outside her plastic surgeon's office in Paris in 2015, 5 years before she gave that interview with her tips of meditating in nature and drinking water. And this is somebody who I believe, per reports, had a lot of work done before that. When these models get in front of your face, they've typically had a fair amount of work done. I mean, we all know that not Gigi, Bella Hadid basically bought herself a new face. Google the before and after. It's a new face. And to that end, I just want to say that these lies that these older celebrities are telling have led to a very, very sick society. And is it any wonder that these younger celebrities coming up, these like Gen Z celebrities, are totally fucked, and they in turn are fucking their peers who are looking up to them, their cohort, the kids who are on social media. They're buying new faces. Okay. They're just buying new faces, and then they're founding these cosmetic companies, which are becoming very profitable. And somehow kids are forgetting that these girls weren't born like this. They were at the plastic surgeon's office getting sliced and diced and hacked up. Look at Kylie Jenner before her plastic surgery and after her plastic surgery. That is an entirely different face. She has a cosmetics company now. She started with lip kits. Okay, look at her old lips. Her old lips are barely existent. Now they're like super puffy and lush, That company is rumored to be worth a reported $900 million. That, in my opinion, is a company based on a lie. And we live in a world where like authenticity is supposed to be like the most valuable thing. I don't understand how these businesses thrive. Now, look at Hailey Bieber. Before and after. Again, that is a completely different face. I'm not even going to go through everything I think she's had done. It's like everything. It's like a head transplant, okay? Hailey Bieber, according to the Standard in May 2020, quote, I never touched my face. I never touched my face. Well, somebody touched your face. I think a lot of people touched your face. Now, Page Six has recently reported that Hailey Bieber has tapped JP Morgan Chase to explore the sale of her cosmetics line, Rhode Beauty, which is expected to potentially sell for $1 billion, all based on lies. Now, I'm going to go to another repeat offender. But this time I'm going to come at you from another angle you're not going to see coming, okay? So this is Michelle Obama, who we've been on because of her podcasts and her bleedings and her moanings and her bitchings and blah, 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 blah. I think she thinks this makes it relatable. It does not. But so this weekend, it was announced that, and the timing is highly suspicious. I'm just going to say it. And I can say this because I lost my father to cancer. I've known many people who have had cancer. It is very personal for me, and I consider it a sacred subject. And this is why I'm going to say it. I think this timing is highly suspicious, okay? There are all these books out there about the cover-up regarding Joe Biden. Like, even the Democrats are like, yeah, it's true. It was a huge fucking cover-up. Everybody covered up his mental decline. So the Bidens this weekend, on the eve of of a real bombshell book coming out, say, guess what? Joe Biden has the Gleason score is 9, prostate cancer. Gleason score is 9, so it's spread to his bones. Now, every man, and I learned this when my dad was going through prostate cancer. Another kind of cancer got him. But we learned this 40 years ago. Just about every man is going to get prostate cancer, and they start screening you annually at 40, and they can catch it early, and you can live with it, and it's highly treatable, if not curable. And so the idea that a president who's got a cohort of doctors for every single body part would never have been screened for prostate cancer annually is fucking wild. Okay, so Michelle Obama is the lone party leader who did not tweet out her sympathies. She simply retweeted her dead weight of a husband, Barack's sympathies that he put out on X. I always say tweeted. You know, we all know what we're talking about. She just retweeted that. That was the most she was going to do, and I kind of love it because Michelle hates the Bidens. She hates them, and she hates them because Hunter Biden treated one of her best friends, Kathleen Buell, who was Hunter's first wife. I won't get into the sordidness. We don't have the time. I wish I could. But anyway, she fucking hates them. And I will tell you something. This is an authentic Michelle Obama that I can get behind. I think some of these women just need to lean into their inner bitch. Just do it. I like it. I like this for Michelle Obama. Okay, finally, we're going to end this segment on someone far less consequential, but she is in the culture and she refuses to leave, even though she has what I can discern no talent. I discern nothing. People are like, oh, she's really funny on social media. For a while, that was her talent until I'm going to end with the until. Now, she has injected herself into the news cycle yet again to let us know that she has quitting drinking. This is an ABC News report. Okay, you guys, this is an ABC News report. And the headline is Chrissy Teigen shares emotional update. Okay, the adjectives are important. On her journey, it's always a journey. Everything's a fucking journey. On her journey with alcohol. Now, the update is Chrissy is basically like, you guys, I went sober but I'm not sober anymore. And I don't know why I can't not be sober. But again, these are people with so much money. You know, you get direct help. You get one-on-one treatment. You get someone to move into your house. You get them. If it's that bad, I don't really think it's that bad. But what do I know? Okay. Now, this is a woman who narrowly escaped getting canceled for good because, you know, she was so funny on social media. And I think all this praise got into her head. And it came out that she had bullied, and this is a theme. We're going to come back to this at the end of the show. She had bullied a starlet named Courtney Stodden. And this was like pre-Me Too. This was before people were really, you know, hyper attuned to predators. And this young girl was married to this 50-something-year-old guy. And it was very, very creepy. And so Courtney Stodden, in an interview with the Daily Beast in May 2021, revealed that Chrissy Teigen wouldn't just publicly tweet about her wanting to take, quote, a dirt nap, but Courtney said Chrissy Teigen would privately DM her. This is from the interview that Stodden gave the Daily Beast. She says she would privately DM me and tell me to kill myself. Things like, I can't wait for you to die. And guess what? Chrissy Teigen never denied it. In fact, she took accountability for it. She admitted, I won't say she took accountability for it. She admitted it. And then she said in what I think is a BS social media post that she was so lucky to be called out because she was so lucky to have the opportunity to become a better person. I think if you're the kind of person who tells anybody else, whether you know them or not, to go kill themselves, you are garbage, okay? You are a piece of shit. And I hate Chrissy Teigen, and I hate her husband, John Legend. That's not even his last name. He gave it to himself, and that tells you all you need to know about those two, okay? Anyway, next up, we have a deep dive on some media messiness, and we're going to start it off with another self-appointed self-help guru who they all have it coming. We'll get to it. And then we have Nepo babies, which is going to be so fun because we're going to do it like nobody else does it. And our first moment of nirvana. We've all had days when skin feels dull, hydration doesn't stick, and energy is all over the place. And no amount of water or skincare or coffee seems to help. That's where Peak's Radiant Skin Duo comes to the rescue, and it is a game changer. This doctor-recommended duo, which is trusted by experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Jason Fung, and Dr. Will Cole, supports whole body wellness from the inside out. With over 15,000 five-star reviews, it's clear this duo delivers results. Here's how it works. Sun Goddess Matcha provides steady, calm energy throughout the day. No jitters. Packed with L-theanine for focus and EGCG antioxidants, it supports skin clarity and gut health because great skin starts from within. BT Fountain electrolytes hydrate like nothing else. Even with plenty of water, many of us still feel dehydrated. I use electrolytes all the time to boost my water. So the difference is clinically proven ceramides locking moisture into the skin at a cellular level, which leave it plump, fresh, and glowing. Purity matters. Peak's quadruple toxin screening ensures all ingredients are free from heavy metals, pesticides, and mold. Just clean, science-backed hydration and energy. So say goodbye to fatigue, dry skin, and energy crashes. Are you ready for healthier hydration? Get 20% off plus a free frother and glass beaker here. peaklife.com/thenerve. Again, that's peaklife.com/thenerve. You guys, before I go any further, I just want to say they switched up my order. The Uber Eats people switched it up, and I got this green matcha latte. I just wanted a regular latte, and it came with these. You can't see them, but there's stuff on the top, and somebody said to me, it looks like a Meghan Markle drink. It looks like somebody put inedible flowers in your matcha, and I don't even really like it that much, but I'm drinking it because I think there's caffeine in here. I don't know. Anyway, okay, I wonder what a wellness expert would have to say about that. I'm going to talk to you guys about somebody who is being touted to you sans any bona fides as an expert, and they're telling you to buy her book, and I'm telling you not to, okay? Her name is Amy LaRocca, and I know this name because she's been a writer for New York Magazine for the past 20 years, and she covered fashion. She didn't cover health. She didn't cover science. She covered fashion, but she's got a book out, and it's called, I'm so angry, I'm shaking. It's called How to Be Well. The subtitle is Navigating Our Self-Care Epidemic, One Dubious Cure at a Time. Now, the caption to this article says, in the New York Times, which this is a through line for this segment, she maintains that it's, quote, incredibly dangerous to live in a society that treats health like a luxury product. Okay, this is, again, these wealthy women talking to other wealthy or well-off women about how dangerous it is to treat wellness like it's a luxury product, which is exactly what they are selling. They are not talking to women who of no means or little means who are lucky if they can eat, a serving of vegetables or fruits with every meal. They're talking to women who have so much disposable income and free time that they're debating between a lymphatic drainage massage or a 5-mile run or a weekend at Canyon Ranch, or should they go to Thailand? It's that shit, okay? Now, we are told that this conversation, it's an interview, but it's a convo, took place over a matcha latte. I'm sleeping with the enemy here, and an iced green tea. It's been edited for length and clarity. Okay. The question at this point, I'm not even reading this question. Amy says, sometimes you see this with wellness when you go into these new medical practices. These are like med spas, okay? They're like people who get trained to shoot. Don't go to those people. Don't. Okay, you're like, am I at a spa, a gym, a boutique hotel? Am I at the doctor? Am I in a Kate Hudson movie? This woman got a book deal. She says that recreational wellness, which is a phrase I've never heard of, Amy says it's a diversion. I exercise a lot. Part of it's for recreation, part of it's for actual health. I used to do my red light stuff. I guess that means she has a mask that's like one of those red lights. They go they sell for anywhere from like $350 to like $12,000. And my dermatologist, who is a genius and she does a lot of famous faces, she says they're bullshit. Don't buy them. Go get real laser treatments in a dermatologist's office. I do it and I love it. And I drink my collagen. Again, scientifically, any doctor will tell you drinking collagen is bullshit. It doesn't do anything. Your body can't absorb collagen. And that's something else that Jennifer Aniston, is a paid promoter of, drinking collagen, putting that collagen supplement in it's bullshit. Okay. And then going into pharmacies with lots of beautiful overpriced skincare products can really make you feel cared for and cosseted. It can feel really nice, ! That's what Amy tells us. She's not telling us, here are the things that you can buy over the counter that will actually do stuff. And here are the things that won't do jack shit. They just make you feel good. Like that Augustinus Badener stuff that all these women are paying $1,000 for like a skinny little tube. Bullshit. Doesn't do anything. I guess they like the upsell. Retin-A works. Okay. I've been on that stuff since I was 20. I started very young. Get some Retin-A and get someone to tell you how to use it. And vitamin C serum. Those are the two, and sunscreen. That's it. Anything else, you're just enjoying yourself anyway. So fuck Amy LaRocca. Don't buy her book. Don't listen to her. Now, over the weekend, I came across a piece that I was like, I got to talk to you guys about it. We're talking about why legacy media is dying, like why we're all congregating here in the digital lane, and legacy media is like, how do we get eyeballs again? So the New York Magazine ran a huge piece on the New York Times opinion section. And this is a doozy, and it's even if you don't think you're into this stuff, this is really, really fun. So there's a huge group class photo, and right here is Maureen Dowd, who, the time to hang it up was many, many moons ago. She does really flippant, superficial columns once a week, and she basically makes some rhymes and she alludes to like three things, like Othello, Macbeth, or the Star Wars trilogy. And then she'll do like really rhymes she thinks are cute, but they're not. She'll be like, the lion Bidens are in hiding. She thinks it's like funny. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So anyway, there's a new person in charge of the opinion section called Kathleen Kingsbury. And okay, this is everything that's wrong. Everything that's wrong. She took the reins after James Bennett was fired unceremoniously, publicly, and very humiliatingly from the New York Times because he dared to run an op-ed by Senator Tom Cotton called Send in the Troops. And in that op-ed, Cotton was saying, hey, America's biggest cities are on fire post-George Floyd. Like, there's rioting, looting, burning in the streets, and like, this cannot go on. Like, we may have to send in the National Guard. And oh my God, the wokerati at the New York Times were like, this cannot stand. We are going to quit, which I would have said quit. I could find people to fill your jobs in a heartbeat. These are glamour jobs, by the way. Some of these Nepo babies that we're going to talk about, these are the places they get to intern because it's so desirable, and these jobs are in such short supply. But like cowards, they all caved to these kids who came out of the Ivy League. They wouldn't know difficulty if it came around the corner in the form of a masturbating homeless man approaching them. Okay, so Kingsbury's big accomplishments, we are told. Okay, big accomplishments at the New York Times. She commissioned a piece on Asian American women who were named after Connie Chung. Like, we're supposed to think this is amazing. She then commissioned a story, a coming out story by the son of a pastor. Know who did it first and did it best? Mike fucking White. Look into it, okay? Anyway, that's just catnip. That's like New York Times, like whatever. And then she recently got, New York Magazine tells us, a hard to get sit down with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Hard to get. New York Times? All right, whatever. Okay, now we are told she is 46 years old and she likes to keep a low profile. She is, this anecdote, I died when I read this anecdote. I died. Okay. The interviewer notes that Kingsbury is wearing black trousers, a black blouse, a black belt, python print kitten heels that expose the flower tattoo she has on top of her foot. It's such a cliche. She's not Gen X. She's 46. Does that count as Gen X? Well, she's right underneath it. This is a cliche. She got it when she lived in New Zealand in college. She comes from big, big money, by the way. She comes from the kind of money that, like, it doesn't matter if you get fired from your job. But she's playing it so cautious. I don't know why she doesn't have more, like, actual zeal and edge to her. Like, she can just tell everybody to fuck off. Okay. She goes, this is what she says to the interviewer. The tattoo, which you know is probably like this. You know, from a distance, it could probably be mistaken for a mole. Open quote, I would be lying if I didn't tell you it is the result of a long, this is a lot of verbiage. The result of a long, instead of saying I got drunk and I got a tattoo, the result of a long evening of drinking. And I'm quite certain that my parents would still have something to say about this. Why does she care what her parents think? She's a 46-year-old woman. I asked her if she considered the tattoo off-brand. Kingsbury is an Upper West Side mother of two, and she says, well, I made the decision when I was 20, but you've kept it, I noted. She lowered her voice to a whisper. I'm also just afraid of getting it removed. Okay, this is the kind of edgy, provocative leader that the New York Times has running their opinion section. She told her new staff the day that James Bennett resigned, forced out, let's just call it what it was. Okay, my opinion, forced out. She sent the opinion staff a note saying that anybody who felt triggered by anything, whether it was a headline or a photo caption, text her immediately. The New York Post would have feasted on the carcasses of these people like the young girls in yellow jackets, okay? This piece notes that Pamela Paul was fired. When Pamela Paul left, I really, that one hit me because she was the only person, and I couldn't figure out how she was getting it done in those opinion pages, who was writing critically about this trans mania and the medicalization and these surgeries that are being performed on minor children. And she was the only person banging that drum and doing interviews with doctors who were like, this is insanity. We are mutilating our youth and we are robbing them of the chance of any kind of meaningful sex life when they get older or the ability to have children. And she got fired. And you know what they say? They have the temerity to say in this piece that it was because of her performance review. Are you kidding me? She was one of the best they had. Okay, the best. And then I'm just going to say the last little detail that we get in this piece that just killed me, because this is so New York Times insufferable. She had a eureka moment. And it had to do with, you know, a lot of major newspapers did not endorse anyone in the election, okay, which was their way of not endorsing Kamala. They all knew. I'm just going to say it. And the New York Times, you know, she was Kathleen Kingsbury, this tough woman running opinion. She was catching shit from her own employees. And rather than telling them that she runs the show and they need to get in line, she has this eureka moment. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's not even worth it. So, but check this out. Okay. The idea came together quickly as the drama of this moment. Oh my God. As Kingsbury was leaving Pilates class on a Saturday morning, she wrote a script on her walk home, showered, grabbed her son from ballet class and dragged him to work, bribing him along the way with a Wendy's Frosty. I guess the Wendy's Frosty is meant to humanize her and make her sound like, you know, a normal person who has a kid who is at ballet class, who's a boy who probably would rather be doing, I don't know what else, but okay. Anyway, if you want any greater example of why the New York Times is dying, I don't have one for you right now. I think it's pretty great. Up next, we are going to take a look at 3 specific, insufferable Nepo babies. But first, my troublemakers, This is my gentle reminder for you to email me. I am Maureen at devilmaycaremedia.com. You know I'm reading them all, even if I can't answer every single one because I'm writing the show half the time. I'm reading them all, and I'm reading all the DMs, and I'm in the YouTube threads, keeping up with what you guys think and want. So keep coming at me and let me know what you want us to cover and what you want us to expand upon or revisit. Again, that's Maureen at devilmaycaremedia.com. Back in a minute. We've all heard it before. Wrinkle creams are the secret to looking younger. But according to Beverly Hills cosmetic surgeon Dr. John Lakey, that's just not true anymore. He says most wrinkle products are, quote, nothing more than overpriced moisturizers, and some might even do more harm than good. So that's why Dr. Lakey stepped away from traditional treatments and developed something completely different, a simple at-home method that's getting major attention. His clients call it the age rewinder method because it can visibly smooth the look of wrinkles in under 2 minutes. Dr. Lakey describes it as almost like Photoshop for your face, and he says you might be shocked at how easy it is to use. Now, to share this breakthrough, he's released a free video that walks you through the method step by step. No signups, no interruptions. And this video has already gone viral with over 2.3 million views and thousands of glowing reviews. One viewer said, "I've tried everything, and this is the only thing that actually worked. I looked years younger." Do you want to see what everyone's talking about? Just go to bhmd1.com/nerve or click the link in the description. If it works for you, Dr. Lakey has one simple request. Please share it. Let's help more people feel confident in their skin. Now is the time to delve into the world of Nepo babies. And I've been thinking about this a lot because it's been a thing in the culture for a little while now. And, you know, the defense that celebrities will offer vis-a-vis their offspring is like, hey, like a plumber's kid, usually, like if they become a plumber, it's like no big deal. Or if a doctor's kid enters the medical profession, it's no big deal. Yeah, that's right. You know, the problem with this, and I'm going to get into specifics, is that these people are taking up resources and opportunities that other more deserving people are, as a result, missing out on, frankly. So first up, I'm going to bring you, and I'm introducing it this way for a reason, because if you wiki him by one of his two names, what will come up on the home Google page underneath his name is Julianne Moore's son. So Julianne Moore's son has just released a video. I don't know if it's first album or what, I don't care. He's just released a video, and I came across this on Julianne Moore's Instagram account last night. And she should not be doing this, okay? I'm sure she's a lovely person. I saw her on the street once in New York City. She's even more gorgeous and tall in person. But I'm sure she's nice, but like, don't do this. Don't use your fame to help your son, okay? Have your son make it on his own. It's the only way. It's the only way he's gonna have any legitimacy. But no. We've now been introduced. Now his real name, his government name is Caleb Freundlich, but he goes by Caleb Moore. And why does he do that? Because Julianne Moore is the famous one in that marriage, okay? Let's take a quick look at his new music video. I'm not the club again. You thought I was when you met me. All that time. He's walking out of frame, and now we're seeing the directed by credits, and then the EP credits, and then director, assistant of photography, colorist, editor, production assistants. I mean, this thing had the crew a size of an independent film. You know, most struggling musicians don't have that. I don't see anything that's particularly powerful about his voice or his music. He sounds like, you know, a slowed down version of Wilco. You know, it doesn't sound that great. And he also had, he got again, I found this, I went on his Instagram. He got a big story in Billboard magazine, which, you know, again, most struggling musicians would kill for. And then he had a launch party at some townhouse in New York that was like above some kind of venue. And at this, I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it. I'll just tell you. At this listening party were people like Billy Crudup and, you know, all of his mommy's famous friends. And they're all cheering on this highly mediocre individual who, again, he's not good, and this is not helping him, and it's not helping the culture, you know? Make him grind it out and work. Do you know that Bono has a kid who's like in a band in New York? I couldn't tell you the name of the band. They're probably not very good, but I don't see his kid popping up on Bono's social media. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. Next, we have someone who goes by E.A. Hanks. I believe her first name is Elizabeth. She's the daughter of Tom Hanks. And this is the entire reason, my friends, why this woman has a published book that has just came out. It's called The 10. Nobody's buying it. I checked on Amazon. Nobody's buying it. And now this book is not very well written. It's not, and I think she had a lot of help. And it's ostensibly about growing up with a mother who is mentally ill and kind of abusive. You know, she says, I think there's no blame really cast on the father, who's a major movie star. Surprise. You know, they were divorced. Tom Hanks has successfully scrubbed this, but he did leave his first wife, Elizabeth's mother, for Rita Wilson when they were shooting a film called Volunteers back in the 80s. My deep reading of Premiere Magazine and Movie Line as a child really does come in handy. Anyway, so there's no anger about that. But before I get into, so this book is about a solo trip she took across America to reckon with her childhood and herself. But really, that just sounds like the framework she used to sell the book. Like, well, who cares about your shitty childhood? Fine, your father's Tom Hanks. Who cares? Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll get in a car and I'll just drive across the country, and that'll be the framework. Somebody bought it. This book advance that she got, somebody else missed out on their book deal. A better writer with no connections, no famous family missed out on a book deal. We missed out on a writer who maybe is now going to give up because not selling your book is a real heartbreak, and you feel like it's the marketplace telling you suck. You suck. Nobody cares what you have to say. Now, she took this book and she has inserted white privilege into the book. And she has worked at, by the way, no shortage of media outlets. Vanity Fair, Huffington Post, The Guardian, New York Times, WAPO. She's 43 years old. I think I would have heard of her by now if she was a good writer, okay? Usually they make it by about 43. And also her author photo is for shit. Like, I'm sorry, her parents are, her father and stepfather are famous. Like, where's the redness corrector? Where's the redness corrector? Okay? Like, get a makeup artist to do your hair and makeup for your fucking author photo. Show your readers some respect. Anyway, I got to this extract and I died. I wish I could say that the overwhelming whiteness of my life had not left its mark on me, but of course it did. Whiteness, like money, shows its privilege by hardly ever being discussed. All we do is discuss this. All we do is discuss this. I was raised to believe that racism is easy to identify because it's so hateful. My own racism is the product of ignorance. But what does that matter to the people I've hurt with clueless, an edgy joke, a blithe comment? I started driving east because it was part of my book deal. No, I started driving east because I don't want to be ignorant anymore. Okay, and you know what else I have to say about Elizabeth A. Hanks? A good friend of mine told me this directly, was in the room having the conversation. She was bragging. Her first book, she goes, I sold out the 92nd Street Y. I don't know how I did it. Yeah, I know how you fucking did it. You did it because your father got roped into having the conversation with you and people came to see your dad, not you, okay? Answered it for you. Finally, we have Apple Martin, Gwyneth's daughter of Chris Martin as well, in a huge spread in Interview Magazine, saying nothing of import, except she's telling us that she's at Vanderbilt as a law, history, and society major, and she's taking theater on the side. Here she is wearing a pair of like $700 Prada sunglasses, and she's going to go into show business. She says she wants to be a lawyer because she just wants to help people. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you about Apple Martin. She has been the subject of very, very stubborn, persistent, years-long rumors that she was kicked out of a very, very prestigious school in LA called the Harvard Westlake School for allegedly bullying a classmate to near suicide, okay? And her mother has never denied that, and nor has she. I don't think anybody's frankly had the balls to ever ask them. But a lot of stuff, for what it's worth, went around about Apple being a mean girl at her little debutante ball in Paris. And Gwyneth issued a statement, someone close to Gwyneth Paltrow, so Schmaltrow, issued a statement to the Daily Mail saying, quote, Apple's more playful and fun, and she's really a total girl's girl. Beware anybody who says they're a girl's girl. Real girls never say that. They just are. You can sense it, okay? This source close to Gwyneth goes on to characterize her, I'm quoting, to characterize her, meaning Apple, as a mean girl is totally untrue. If you have to deny it like that, I think it's true. Okay. That was very cathartic. Really cathartic. Okay. We're going to be back with a new segment that we are calling Nirvana. And this one, I promise you, it's like all good stuff. I am so happy about this one. We are talking about a play called Oh, Mary. Now, this thing, I saw this in January. I'd been dying to see it, and I don't know why I waited so long. It is, it's up for several Tonys, and it is a tight 80-minute play, front to back. I have never laughed so hard. I can't remember the last time I saw something this original and funny. It actually made me jealous in like a good way. I was like, this is an original mind. Wow, what I would give for like an opening into this mind. It's written by a guy, he goes by they, them pronouns, but it's award season and he's been nominated for Best Actor. So, but anyway, the genius of it is that it's a drag performance. So Cole Escola plays Mary Todd Lincoln. And he plays Mary Todd Lincoln as a drunk, probably a sufferer of borderline personality disorder. We're going to do a segment on it. And she neither knows nor cares that a civil war is raging outside the walls of the White House. She just wants to be a cabaret star. That's it. We're going to show you a few little bits from this play. You're going to love it as much as I do, I think. Okay, take a look at this.
For God's sake, Mary, how would it look for the First Lady of the United States to be flitting about the stage right now in the ruins of war?
How would it look? Sensational!
Oh my God. Okay. Now, again, President Abraham Lincoln makes another attempt to explain to his wife that it would not look great, that half the country wants him dead, for his wife to be hot-footing it around the country in nightclubs doing her cabaret act. Take a look at this.
It's inappropriate. We're at war.
With who?
The South!
Of what?
Okay. Next, there is one more bit that, and then I'm going to explain to you why I showed you these in particular. Take a look at this part of the play.
The thing I love more than anything
Don't you dare
on earth
say it!
is cabaret!
Okay. Now, the New York Times, they did a little piece on Cole this Sunday as well. And so Cole left the show for a minute. He had been doing it forever. It started like off Broadway. And the brilliance of the show is that like none of it was focus grouped. He didn't have big money producers saying, you've got to take this in, you've got to leave that out. So it's really wild. It goes places that you just like, you're doubled over in laughter. You can't believe somebody said it. It's very much a nerve show. And, he talked, and so they brought in other actors, and then the box office just went down like this. They had to bring him back. So it's getting this new life as it should. So if you're in New York or you're coming to New York, make it a point to see this play. See this play before you see anything else. This is not a paid endorsement. I just love this play. I love this guy. Or they, them. I love their mind. And those clips show that this is the level of detail. They workshopped the wig. Like the wig, as they went from off Broadway to Broadway, began getting bigger and bigger, and it moves more. And the hoop skirt, the same, bigger and bigger. So the flouncing and the hysterics and the temper tantrums, they become like increasingly comic because like the curls are bigger and like it's a whole thing. So I mean, I just loved this thing, and I have told everyone in my life to go see it, and I have not had anything but a rave yet, and I hope you will trust me with that. So that's our first Nirvana, and I think it's a great little recurring thing. That is our show for today. I cannot wait to see you here on Friday. We are currently working up a great show. We have a guest coming on that I know you guys love because you've told me. And we've got a ton of topics that we're winnowing down right now. So we will see you back here on the Friday edition of The Nerve, where you will never guess what we are about to say next.